Thanks for stopping back by Wild Bird Creative. I was at my local bookstore today, and as I was at the checkout, there was a table, and this was the only book sitting in the middle of it. There was nothing else, and so I picked it up, and I thought, oh, it's just such a nice little book. It's a nice size, and then I opened it, and it's all artwork throughout the years, contemporary on back to, well, how far back do we go here? Pretty far back. Anyhow, we've got wonderful things, scenes, abstract, little snippets of winter life, 1803, 1810, 1890. I mean, look at these beautiful, just lush images of all sorts of winter. I mean, winter isn't always snow. We didn't get snow until just a few weeks ago. Sometimes winter is just bare trees. Sometimes it's very wintry, like this picture from Joseph Farquharson, and that one's called The Joyless Winter Day. Anyhow, I picked this up for myself just to have in my collection, and I was caught by some of the abstracts, and that's kind of what I want to try and do today. We're just going to have some fun. Nothing fancy, but some more playtime. Let me set my beautiful book out of the way. So I have a piece of 9x12 that I just sprayed some Distress Oxide and some spray stain on. And that's where we're going to start. I've got my plate here with just some white gesso, and this is just a scraping tool that I got at the hardware store. And what I'm going to do is just come in, and I'm just adding it right on top. And it doesn't matter to me that it is smearing things. That is one of the beauties of these inks, is that they create a very loose surface that you can work on. And that is where we are going to start, just dragging this along. Let me also grab my small palette knife so I can get some of these littler areas. And just adding all this the way it's working out reminds me of a winter woodland. Lots of tree trunks in here. And all I'm doing is just dabbing the edge of the palette knife into the gesso. I'm not doing too much. This just gives me a nice surface to work on. Let's just bring some up there. It's just going to be my own interpretation of a wintry day. And I am going to have to let this sit and dry. Right now, let me wipe this off so I don't then proceed to get gesso on everything. And I'm going to use the scraping tool too. Just to add some interest. Okay, wipe that off. This is easy. You can just throw it in the sink and let it soak. So here's what I've got so far. Of course, it's going to curl. I'm going to have to take it over and use my heat tool, and then I'll be right back and we'll continue. I'm back. I have 2 fan brushes. My surface is dry and ready for me to continue. Now what I've done is I've mixed just some black acrylic paint in with some ink, and all I want to do is just start coming in and creating just some trees. Nothing fancy. As Bob Ross would say, happy little trees. They're not going to be perfect, but they're going to be filled with character. So there are the first few trunks. And then I have a little tiny one. And I'm just going to come in and just give them some branches. Now, not everybody is into abstract, and that's okay. There's enough art styles for all of us to find the one that we like. This is just kind of a fun, free-flowing project. You'll notice I'm coming right over onto the other one. Let me up a little bit and add some branches right up here. And the thing that's nice about pine trees is they're so irregular anyway. You really can't go wrong when you're making a pine tree. There's just lots of boughs, and there's thin areas and thick areas. It's just fun. Make them however you want. Add as many branches and boughs as you want. It's your tree. Make this area a little denser where the three trees overlap. And there we go. And I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm just going to come in and create some land. And let's just put just a rough horizon through here. And the thing that's nice about fan brushes is they make these little marks that look a lot like grass. So you can create effects very quickly. That are loose. And whether you pull the brush up or push it away from you, or I should say pull the brush down or push it away from you, will impact how things look, how much paint you have on it, how much ink you use. Let's grab another brush. Wipe my fingers off. Let's grab maybe this one. I'm torn between this one or my big Chinese one. I think I'll use the big Chinese one. Just to soften this area. These are wonderful brushes for when you want to be really, really loose. And you see, I'm just kind of letting the brush do its thing. I'm not worried too much about perfection. I'm going to come down here a little bit more. Just create a little landmass down here. And bring it over this way. Okay, let me just set that down. Let me grab a bigger fan brush and come in and add some sticks. Is it a perfect landscape? No, it is not. I don't want it to be. I want it to be very free-flowing. I want that feeling of winter. Add a few more. Oh, need a little more paint on this. Bring some more sticks in. Because we all know what the bare sticks look like in the winter. And let's do a little more in here. Now, if you wanted to leave it as strictly a very toned down, cold winter scene, you can leave it right like this. That is fine. I mean, it's your painting. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm going to make him a little heavier. Let me come in this way. He's just fussing with me a little bit. There we go. Now, what I want to do is I want to add just a little bit of red, because there are often sticks on different bushes that have some red on them. Some of them have red berries, so you certainly could do that. I'm just going to add just some red. And then I'm going to add a nice dark brown. And this is just going to be, oh, those little things that stick up. You're not quite sure what they are without their leaves, but you see them sticking through the snow. And I'm going to add a few back in here around the trees. And I know my trees aren't perfect. Trees take time. They're not the easiest thing, but they're a lot of fun. Now, what I want to add to this next is a little bit of yellow. And I'm going to do that. I've got to choose which color yellow I want. Not sure. I'm just going to lay them right on here. I'm pretty sure it's not that. I think this one. Set those aside. Oh, if I have anything left in here. Boy, I don't hear anything shaking in here, but that's okay. Let's give it a go. Let's grab a brush. Go all the way to the bottom here. And I've got an old roll from a tape, and I'm just doing all of it, all the way around. Put a little bit more on here because I really want it nice and saturated. And then I'm going to put it right in this corner, and I am going off the edge. And that just gives me a nice wintry sun. I'll set that aside and grab this brush, and I'm going to come right in here. And this is an old crusty brush. And all I'm going to do is just bring some yellow in. Just some streaks of winter sun. I use my finger to smudge it out a little bit. And because this is an old brush, you can do some great scrubby effects with it. Let's add a little bit down here too. Why not, right? It's a great bit of color. I can blend it right in. I can grab my little scraping tool and pull some of it back if I don't like it, just a little bit. There we go. Put a little bit over here. And a little bit down here. Now the only thing in this that is obvious is the trees. The rest of it is all just fun and free-flowing. And let me put my top on that. And let me just grab the book again and open it up to the page that had a similar palette. I like it. It gave me something different to do. I tried to create it my own way. I'm not crazy. Maybe I should have made the trees more abstract, but I like the wintry feel of this. I like the red sticks. I like having the black mixed in. I like the background with the distress oxide sprays. I like the fact that some of the white shows through so that you still have a little bit of a wintry feel. There we go, folks. Grab your stuff, go crazy, have fun, don't fuss too much. Make some art. It makes you feel good. From this, I can now decide how I would do it next time. What would I change? Would I turn it and do the piece this way? Would I choose different colors? There's so many options. Don't be constrained by seeing something and thinking it has to be that way or it's no good. Have fun. What have I lost here? 15 minutes of time and a little bit of supplies. That's it. Grab your stuff. Get busy. Get creative. Be kind to yourself this week. Stay warm if you're in a cold area. Get outside. Get fresh air. Look at nature. Notice the way the light this time of year plays across things. And thanks for stopping by. Wild Bird Creative.